Your brain is lying to you right now, in this moment. Not because you're broken, not because something is wrong with you, but because that is literally what brains do. And the scariest part? The lies feel completely real. They feel like logic. They feel like instinct. They feel like truth. You think you made a rational decision today? Your brain already made it 7 seconds before you were consciously aware of it. You think your gut feeling is wisdom? Sometimes it is, but sometimes it's just an old wound pretending to be wisdom. You think your emotions are telling you what's actually happening? They're not. They're telling you what your past has trained you to expect. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will never look at your own mind the same way again. 1. Why your brain lies. Let's start with something that sounds simple, but will completely change how you see yourself. Your brain is not designed for truth. Read that again. Your brain is not designed to show you reality accurately. It is designed for one thing and one thing only: survival. And survival means speed. Speed means shortcuts. And shortcuts mean your brain is constantly filling in gaps, making assumptions, and pattern matching based on old data. Neuroscientists call this predictive coding. Your brain does not passively receive the world, it actively predicts it. Every single moment, your brain is running a simulation, a forecast, based on your past experiences. And then it filters incoming information to confirm that forecast. Not to challenge it, not to update it, to confirm it. This is why two people can go through the exact same experience and walk away with completely opposite conclusions. Their brains were running different simulations based on different histories. So when you feel like nobody respects you, your brain isn't observing that, it's predicting it, and then selectively noticing every piece of evidence that proves it right, while ignoring everything that contradicts it. This is not a character flaw, this is architecture. But here's where it gets dark. 2. The lies your brain tells most. There are 4 specific lies that the brain tells most people, most consistently, and almost nobody catches them in real time. Lie number 1. The permanence lie. When something bad happens, your brain immediately generalizes it. You fail once, your brain says, "I always fail." Someone leaves, your brain says, "Everyone always leaves." You feel lonely today, your brain says, "I will always be alone." Psychologists call this cognitive distortion overgeneralization, but it goes deeper than a thinking error. Your brain does this because in the wild, in the ancient environment humans evolved in, if something was dangerous once, assuming it would always be dangerous kept you alive. A berry that made you sick once, never eat it again. Permanent rule. That survival mechanism is still running inside you, except now it's not applied to berries. It's applied to relationships, opportunities, your own potential. One rejection and your brain writes a permanent verdict about your worth. That verdict is a lie, but it feels like truth. Lie number 2. The identity lie. Your brain constantly tells you a story about who you are. I'm someone who can't handle pressure. I'm someone who always gets taken advantage of. I'm not the kind of person who succeeds at things like that. These feel like self-awareness, like honest self-knowledge. They are not. They are stories assembled from the reactions of other people, from your worst moments, from your earliest painful experiences, and then hardened into identity labels. And once your brain accepts something as identity, it fights to protect it, even when that identity is painful, even when that identity is limiting. Because the brain would rather be consistently itself than be inconsistently better. Predictability feels safe, even when what's predictable is suffering. Lie number 3, the threat lie. Your brain cannot properly distinguish between a physical threat and an emotional one. A lion chasing you, your boss sending a cold email,
a partner going quiet during an argument. To your nervous system, the response is almost identical. Heart rate increases, cortisol spikes, the thinking brain goes partially offline, the survival brain takes over. This is why you say things in arguments you immediately regret. This is why you freeze during important moments. This is why you sometimes react to a small inconvenience like it's a catastrophe. Your brain pressed the emergency button, not because the situation warranted it, but because something in that moment rhymed with an old emergency. A tone of voice, a facial expression, a feeling of being dismissed, a moment of silence that felt like abandonment. Your brain matched the pattern and launched the full threat response before your conscious mind had even registered what was happening. You weren't overreacting, you were reacting to something your conscious mind couldn't even see. Lie number 4. The explanation lie. This one is the most subtle and probably the most destructive. Your brain constantly generates explanations for your emotions, and it presents them as facts. You feel anxious, and your brain immediately provides a reason. It's because of that conversation earlier. It's because of the uncertain situation at work. But here's what research in affective neuroscience actually shows. The feeling comes first, the explanation comes after, and the explanation is often completely made up. Your body generates an emotional state based on biological rhythms, sleep quality, old memory traces, dozens of unconscious inputs, and then your brain reverse engineers a story to explain why you feel that way. So you spend hours analyzing a relationship because you feel uneasy, when the real reason you feel uneasy is that you slept badly and your nervous system is dysregulated. Or you convince yourself you're not ready for an opportunity because your brain is running an old file that says you're not enough, and it needed a logical-sounding explanation to justify the avoidance. The explanation felt real. It was constructed.
3. Why this is dangerous. Here's why these lies matter so much. You make decisions based on them every single day. You pass on opportunities because the permanence lie says you'll fail anyway. You stay in dynamics that hurt you because the identity lie says this is just who you are. You destroy conversations because the threat lie launched your nervous system into survival mode over something that wasn't actually dangerous. You spiral for hours because the explanation lie gave you a false story to follow. And the most painful part? You thought you were being honest with yourself. You thought you were being self-aware. You were. You were being completely honest with a liar. 4. How to catch the brain lying. So what do you actually do with this? Because awareness alone changes nothing. Knowing your brain lies doesn't stop it from lying, and it definitely doesn't stop you from believing it. What changes things is building a pause, just a pause between the thought and the belief. Not arguing with the thought, not suppressing it, not replacing it with a positive affirmation that your nervous system doesn't actually believe. Just a pause. And in that pause, one question. Is this a fact or is this a forecast? Facts are things you can verify in the external world right now. Forecasts are what your brain is predicting based on old data. Nobody cares about me. Forecast, based on old experiences, not a current fact. I always mess things up. Forecast, one data point generalized into a permanent law. This is never going to get better. Forecast, masquerading as realism. That one question, is this a fact or a forecast, creates the gap. And in that gap, something important happens. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thought, gets a chance to come back online. Because when your brain is in full lie mode, when the threat response is activated, when the old story is running at full volume, the prefrontal cortex goes quiet. It literally reduces activity. But a moment of pause, a deliberate breath, a simple question, these are not just psychological tools, they are neurological interrupts.
They physically shift activity back toward the thinking brain. The second practice is this. When you notice a strong automatic feeling or reaction, ask yourself, how old does this feel? Not how serious, not how real, how old? Because your nervous system doesn't experience time the way your conscious mind does. That panic you feel in a moment of conflict, it might be 30 years old. That shame that floods you when you make a mistake, it might have its roots in a classroom when you were 8. When you ask, how old does this feel? You're not dismissing what you feel, you're locating where it came from. And when you locate it, it loses some of its grip, because now you know this isn't about today, this is old code running in a new situation.
5. The real truth. Here is what I want you to sit with today. The fact that your brain lies to you is not an insult to your intelligence. The smartest people in the world, therapists, neuroscientists, psychologists who have spent their entire careers studying this, they still get lied to by their own brains, daily. The goal is not to have a brain that never lies. The goal is to stop being the person who believes every single thing their brain says without question. Because you are not your thoughts. You are the one who can observe your thoughts. And the moment you step into that observer position, even for a second, something fundamental shifts. You go from being a passenger in your own mind to being, slowly, the one with a hand on the wheel. Not perfectly, not permanently, not without falling back, but more than before, more than yesterday. And that more, compounded over time, is what psychological freedom actually looks like. It is not a destination, it is a direction.
Tomorrow, day 3, we go into one of the darkest and most talked about topics in psychology right now. The one pattern that keeps showing up in your relationships, your family, your workplace, that you've been trained not to name. Day 3 is called Why You Were Never Allowed to Be Yourself. And if that title already hit something in you, you already know you need to watch it. Subscribe, follow, set the notification, and tell me in the comments which of the 4 lies does your brain tell you the most. I read everything. See you tomorrow.